Hi guys, and welcome back to another video, and today's video is the Game Week 10 watch list. So in this video, I've come up with 4 players that I think are good options for this game week and the next several game weeks after that. I've got 2 midfielders, 1 forward and 1 defender, so I pretty much cover all parts of your team that could need work doing on. But anyway, enough of the waffling, let's get straight into the video. So the first player on the list is the Crystal Palace midfielder, Wilfried Zaha. So not to mention, Zaha is Palace's best player. Although they have brought in some new recruits this summer, he is still Palace's best player in my opinion. Maybe not necessarily this season, but if you go off history, easily. This season he's got himself 2 goals and 1 assist. So it's a respectable tally. It's not amazing, but it's not awful. He's also on penalties, so if Palace get any penalties in the next several games, Zaha's going to be the man taking it. Also with Wilfried Zaha and Palace in general, they're playing a lot more of an attractive brand of football this season. Under Roy Hodgson, he did a very good job. They played a football that was not necessarily very exciting, but it got them points, it got them results, it kept them in the Premier League. But under Patrick Vieira, they're playing a lot more of an attractive brand of football, they're pressing a lot more, and they look like they're more eager to score goals. So I expect Zaha to get some goals and assists in the next several games, but you know it is football and it may not happen, but you can always be optimistic, and if you look at his fixtures, you can be very optimistic. Although he plays Man City in Game Week 10, which is a fixture which is really tricky, obviously, in Game Week 11, 12, 13 and 14, he's got a nice set of fixtures. In Game Week 11, he plays Wolves. Game Week 12, he plays Burnley. Game Week 13, he plays Aston Villa. And Game Week 14, he plays Leeds. So in those games, you do expect Palace to win at least 2 of them. You do expect Zaha to score in them. And they're games where he can score. Burnley, they haven't got a win this season. Leeds have got 1 win this season. Wolves and Aston Villa are still iffy teams, and they're not playing great every game. Look at Arsenal, they tore Aston Villa to shreds. And yes, it could be due to the system, and they may change it. But I do expect Palace, with Zaha, Gallagher, Edouard, they've got a decent set of players who can obviously hurt those teams right there. Also, Zaha comes in at 6.9 million. So he's not expensive, but he's not cheap. But with Zaha coming in at that price, you look at the players around him. Ben Rama's not in the best of form at the moment. Rafinha's not playing the greatest for Leeds. You're trying to find other options that you could replace Wilfried Zaha with. Maybe you might stretch to Jota, which is a decent option, but around that price point, he does look very good. Also, he's only in by 5.9% of the game, so what's there not more to like about Wilfried Zaha? He's super differential, he's fairly cheap, he's got a decent set of fixtures, and he's in decent form himself. And the next player on the list is the Leicester City central midfielder, Youri Tielemans. So he's got himself 3 goals and 2 assists. He's already got a goal and an assist more than Zaha this season, but to be fair, he is playing in a better side. But what has really impressed me about Tielemans this season is his defensive work and his footwork going forward. He's a central midfielder, so he's not playing as a number 10. He's not creating and scoring all the goals and creating all the chances, but he's also not a DM. He's not just sat in front of the back 4, clearing up counter-attacks and defending very well. He's doing it both. He's a complete midfielder. And last game against Brentford, he was outstanding. I watched it on Match of the Day. He scored an absolute belter of a goal to open the scoring in the first half. Then in the second half, he played a beautiful ball through to Daka, who laid it off to Maddison to make it 2-1 Leicester. And not to mention, his work rate is immense. All game he was running around, making tackles, creating chances, pressing, passing the ball brilliantly. And what do you expect? He is one of the best midfielders in the league in his position, I would say. He's very underrated because although people respect him and say he's a decent player, I don't really think people respect him enough. Like if he's playing at a Man City or a Chelsea or something, or a Liverpool, I feel like people would be raving about him because he is class, and he has been for a number of years now. Also, he's £0.5 million cheaper than Zaha. He comes in at 6.4 million, and he's only in by 5.6%. So like Zaha, he's a super duper differential. And also, Leicester's next several games do look brilliant. They got Arsenal and Leeds. Arsenal are a team that you can beat, but you don't know whether, like what I'm trying to say is Arsenal are an iffy team. They have played well recently, but then at the same time, are they really at that level where they can beat teams like Leicester and stuff? Then they play Leeds, who have only got 1 win this season. They haven't played that great. And then they got Chelsea, which is a tricky fixture. But after that, they got a brilliant set of fixtures. They play Watford, Southampton, Villa and Newcastle. That could either be 3 or 4 wins for Leicester. And the rate Tielemans is going, I do expect him to get involved with some of the goals and assists in this next several games. And also, he's got 20 points in his last 2 games against Man United and Brentford. 2 tough opposition. So what can I say? Youri Tielemans looks like a decent option for your FPL team. And the next player on the list is, well, a pretty self-explanatory one. I don't really have to talk too much about him because everyone knows his qualities, and that man is called Antonio Rudiger. So you may think, why are you talking about him? Everyone knows about him. It's because I think he is such a great option for FPL. He has played 90 minutes in every game this season bar one, which shows he's a mainstay in that Chelsea backline, whilst the likes of Azpilicueta, Reece James, Ben Chilwell, Marcus Alonso, they all get rotated. Also, he comes in at 5.8 million, so he's not super expensive. Yes, he's not super cheap, but he's not super expensive as well. And his next set of fixtures are brilliant. He's got Newcastle and Burnley, that should be 2 clean sheets for Chelsea. And then, yes, they play Leicester and Man United, which are 2 tricky games. But then they play Watford, and then they play West Ham, Leeds, Everton, Wolves, Villa, Brighton. So up until game week 20, Chelsea they only have 2 red fixtures in there. And with Chelsea, you can expect them to beat anyone. Even though Man United and West Ham are red fixtures, they could easily get a clean sheet in that game. Their defence is superb and solid. What more can I say about Antonio Rudiger? He is a very decent option for your FPL team. And the final player on the list is the Brentford forward, Ivan Toney. So why do I think Ivan Toney is a great option? His fixtures. His fixtures up until game week 16 are absolutely outstanding. Take a listen to this. He plays Burnley away, Norwich at home, Newcastle away, Everton at home, Tottenham away, Leeds away, Watford at home. So in that time, he's got 4 green fixtures and 3 grey ones. But even the grey ones aren't that tricky. Everton got smashed 5-2 by Watford. Tottenham are an iffy team. You don't know what to expect week in, week out. And Leeds aren't in great form this season. So I do expect Ivan Toney to get at least a couple of goals in that time. Or maybe even a couple of assists as well. And what Ivan Toney offers over, let's say, other strikers is he's on penalties. And he's going to play 90 minutes week in, week out. He's played 90 minutes in every game this season. So you know that he's not going to get taken off. He always has that chance to score. And yes, he may only have 2 goals and 2 assists. But it's not that bad, considering Brentford aren't the highest scoring team in the league. And if he gets you a return every 2 to 3 games, for a £6.5 million striker, it's not bad at all. He does come in at 18.3%, which is a lot. But on the other hand, you could look at, like, because he's owned by quite a lot, if he picks up a big return in those next set of beautiful fixtures, it could harm your rank in your mini league, or maybe even your rank globally. I doubt globally, but it could harm your mini league rank. But what I'm trying to say is, Ivan Toney or Mbeumo, who I haven't talked about because obviously he might have a bit of an injury, do look like great options for the next 6, 7, 8 game week. So maybe you could bring one of them into your team. Anyway, guys, that is the end of the video right there. If you have any questions or anything about FPL, put them in the comment section and I'll be sure to reply to them soon. And if you haven't already, go check out my other channel, which is called Zach Football. Type it in, all in capital letters, filter channel, and you should find it. And I will put the link in the description of this video as well. I'll talk about basic general football on there, whether it be Premier League, Champions League, match reviews. Just talk about general stuff to do with football. I've only got 4 videos, but go check them out. Hit the subscribe button over there. It will be greatly appreciated, and I'll catch you in the next one.